Welcome back to the Full Experience Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a special guest, another one of my best friends. This guy is the funniest guy in paintball. I love him so much. We were just in Mexico yesterday, and we'll have a funny story about that. But the boy, the Leopard King, Chad Bouchez from Houston Heat is live in the building today. Chad, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Thanks to you, Mark.
Hey, I'm glad you flew out. And it's weird because usually when we fly you out, it's from Indianapolis.
Correct.
Indy. Why are we flying you from Myrtle Beach now, baby?
Well, I want to say mad love to the Nap Town, but it is a goodbye to that. My beautiful wife is actually a new head anchor at a station down there in Myrtle Beach. So I'm a South Carolina boy now, and I love every second of it.
You're by the beach now instead of the snow. So much snow.
It was crazy because last week when I went to practice, I get to play outside, and I looked back at all my friends in the Midwest, and they're all going to a place inside and in the snow and everything else. And
Sucker, Chad's got you beat, boy.
Yeah, I felt like not bad at all for them. So
Hey, let's run it one time. I know a lot of people don't know that you are a married man and you're married to a beautiful woman who is a news anchor.
Absolutely, yes.
She's on TV every day.
Yeah, she is. It's funny, too, because our dog actually recognized her last week on TV. So,
No way.
You know when your dog's doing it, then it's all on from there.
Yeah.
She is my beautiful wife. Her name is Rachel. She is the head anchor on a NBC affiliate called WNBF.
Yep.
So it's actually a whole different step for her because usually from her being on a radio station to her just working in the mornings, like her show before with CBS was from 5 to 7 a.m. So she'd be up at 2:30 in the morning, perky as can be. Like I've never met anyone in my life that literally doesn't care about like how early it is. She's there to work. And it was like she never complained one time about it, but this has actually been a crazy month because we just moved there. January 1st, I drove the truck down, but I'll tell you that story in a second. And she didn't have to wake up at like 2:30 in the morning. So I was actually still on her time. So I'd wake up like randomly at times, text you, see what's up.
Yeah, or you were still up playing video games with Frank Connell and the boys. And
Shout out Frank the Tank. It's been exciting 2022 so far, and I'm loving every second of it.
Sick, but you got to run this story down before we get into the paintball news because we're going to talk about the Latin Saints and the big money coming in after Houston Heat. But before we get into that, can you just tell the people the story? This guy had to drive, was it 48 hours straight?
Okay, so no,
he did not sleep.
Okay, so this is what happened. So early, Nick Soviak was moving from South Florida to Chicago, and he moved back there. So I went there. We drove the truck. He had like a 26-foot truck, and we drove that straight 25 hours. And then he had to go a little bit farther, actually. And then, so shout out Nick Soviak. That was a good time. The boys were rolling, you know. And then about 10 days later, my wife had already got the news that she was going to be moving or with jobs. So then I was like, all right, well, let's pack it up. So we literally just I just didn't stop for like a couple weeks on end. And by January 1st, I was in a truck heading south, and it got crazy. You know, I stopped after about 6-7 hours, and I drove this truck by myself. It was 26-footer. And I don't even know if I was qualified to drive that thing, but I was like, I got this. Like, my dad's a truck driver, so I figured if he can do it, I can do anything. So it is what it is. And then I stopped, had lunch with Nicky Cuba, slammed a shot of tequila, kept going on my way, and that's real. Don't try that at home, kids.
Let's go.
And then it was crazy because like it was raining a lot, and this was like a moment. I never knew anxiety attacks, like what they ever felt like or anything else. But I had my entire life, my wife's, like everything of hers, mine, in this truck, and I'm going through these hills, and it's like through the mountains, and it was like raining nonstop, and like I felt like I was like sliding down a mountain. And then pretty much by the time I got to the end of it, like I saw like a crash happen, saw somebody get smoked, and I was like, oh my God. And I'm going on and driving, and I'm just like trying to keep myself entertained, drinking energy drinks. And all of a sudden, I just started crying. Like, I just started bawling. I called my wife, and I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I got goosebumps talking about it.
Oh, shit.
I don't know why I just started crying, and I'm talking to myself, like, why are you crying? Like, I didn't know, like, that's what an anxiety attack was, where, like, I literally was, like, hard to breathe and everything else. And then I called her, and I'm like, I'm not sure what's going on, blah, blah, blah. She's like, it's okay. And she's like trying to talk me through it. And like, I couldn't thank her enough because she really did calm me down. So I was like, okay, like it's going to be all right. And the second I got there, I got to the house. It was like almost midnight. It took me 18 hours. Like I drove straight through because I don't really believe in stopping. I'm a road warrior. So
I would have stopped 3 times for that trip.
I mean, the only time I had to stop was to get gas. And the truck actually only filled up halfway. So I had to stop a lot. And like, that's what kept taking a long time. But, she actually was like on the phone with me the whole time because she was super excited. She wanted to see what the house was. The whole neighborhood was still with Christmas stuff, so she loves Christmas. And so I get there, and I couldn't get the door open to the truck. So like not having anything in the house but like the house, that was it, right?
Yeah.
Literally, it was crazy because I took the truck in the middle of the neighborhood, drove it as fast as I could forward and slammed on the brakes. So whatever the weight was on the back door of the truck came off the door. I got it open. The bed, like the small mattress or whatever that I had from the night before that I slept on, I took that out and then found a towel and then used that as a blanket and then laid on the floor the rest of the night. But when I woke up and it was like 70 degrees outside, I was so happy. I was like, what was I crying for? I was like, I felt like the biggest bitch, but I didn't.
No, dude, I would have. I mean, you've been living in Indy forever at that point.
I mean,
that's like
I
your
moved to
home.
Indianapolis. Tommy O'Donnell got me to move to Indianapolis in 2014, and I actually loved every second of it. Like I really truly loved being there and everything else. But her job called, and you got to kind of follow where the money goes. So that's where you end up going.
Yeah, for sure. But I can see why the panic attack happened. You grew up there for a lot of years, and you met a lot of people, and all of a sudden you're leaving. You got this.
That's what it was.
Your whole life's in this truck, and you don't know if Myrtle Beach is going to be better or not. But now, obviously, it all worked out, and you got through it. And I'm sure 18 energy drinks and maybe a little Adderall didn't help. But
I wish I would have had it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I thought the energy drinks. I'm like reading the cans, like trying to Google. I'm like, I don't know why I'm like freaking out.
Let's go.
I called Nikki Cuba. I called Todd. I'm like, what is going on? I think I called you too. I was like,
yeah, you did.
Yeah, and then I was just I thought like everything was like changing and it was just all new and it happened so fast and I was just exhausted from like everything that we've been doing.
Yeah.
And but I was excited. The second I woke up on a Sunday morning, I never felt like I made a better decision like for our family and like because my wife even asked me, she's like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Without hesitation, I was like, "Absolutely." So
sick.
Yeah. Shout out to my wife. I love her to death, and I couldn't ask for a better woman in my life. So it works.
No, I like that. I like it. I love your wife. She's an awesome girl. But we got to get into the nitty gritty here. We're going to start talking about paintball now because I know the boys are tuning in to listen to some paintball action.
Absolutely.
Let's just get straight into it. Everyone's talking about it. Alex Goldman, he's making bank, $100,000. Latin Saints. We also got a guy named A-Rod, Alex Martinez.
No, Alex Rodriguez.
Alex Rodriguez, sorry, not X Factor. Alex Rodriguez. And then they just picked up a guy named Corey Hall. They're looking pretty strong right now. And I caught word that they're maybe going after some other people. He might be Russian. He might be another top 5 player in the world. So what are you thinking with this team and another big money guy like your team, Sarge, who is amazing and we love him, and your team is top notch, as I said with Tyler, most professionally ran organization in the game. What are you thinking about Latin Saints and this Diego guy?
So first of all, I want to shout out to Alex Goldman. He deserves every bit of that, right? That dude, he busts his ass. He's a savage. He goes out there and handles business, right? I've worked out with Alex before, just like on the field and stuff like that, and that dude works hard, right? So, shout out to him. I'm really happy for him as a friend. I would have loved to have Alex Goldman on our team, but when you get offers like that, that's stuff you can't pass on. And I like this guy who's coming in. His name's Diego.
Yes, Diego.
I like it because this is what paintball needs. It's good for paintball, right? It's not just about going to get it, like pay a bunch of money to somebody else, but it's somebody who has a passion for paintball that truly wants to have a competitive team. And, everybody's always like, oh, these guys have all the money, blah, blah, blah. But it's not about that. It's about, these players work hard to get that money and to become good at a sport. So it's like, for somebody to pay them off and pay them what they're worth, it works out real well. So, I'm super excited for Alex Goldman. I'm happy for Alex Rodriguez, and whoever else they get and everything else, they obviously, they wanted a better situation and it seems like they found it. So, I hope Diego is prepared for, like a lot of ups and downs, but at the same time, it seems like, he's a competitor and that's exactly what we need in paintball. I wish there was actually more people like him. I know I was right when I was talking to Randy about this. It kind of reminded us of 2012 because this whole offseason, we've kind of just been sitting back watching all these people like hunt and make all these moves and do all this stuff. And we're happy. Like, we made a pickup with Tyler Harmon. And
shout out T Harm, baby.
Yeah, that was a blessing, right? So it was like, we're not going to do anything like where it comes down to like, we're not on the hunt like other people are. We're not building a whole new team, but we kind of chuckled about it because in 2012 or 2011, really, when we were building this team and I'm calling Russia at 2 a.m. and, and just trying to get all these guys, like we're like, yeah, like we know what he's going through, like negotiations, everything like that. So, it's cool. It's because like it's somebody else that's coming in. We set a blueprint before. They're trying to obviously like, have a competitive team and they're going after top players. We do the same thing. And so my hat's off to them. I'm glad that they're there and they want to compete and they're not there just to show up in the pro division, just say they're pro. They want to go and try to win paintball tournaments. So I'm all about it. I'm all about them spending the money. I'm all about them, being a competitor. So shout out to the boys, Alex Rodriguez and Alex Goldman. I'm very happy for them. Whoever else they get to. it'll be good. It's good for paintball, and I'm really happy for it.
Nice. Corey Hall too. Are you familiar with him and his play? I heard he's pretty good on the field. I don't know how much you played against him.
Yeah, they actually have another little snake guy too, Silos.
Yeah, another Ironman guy.
Yep.
Or former Ironman guy.
Yeah. So good for them. They've proven that they can win a paintball tournament. Alex Goldman and Alex Rodriguez they both put it on their shoulders before, and it's going to be a good team, and it's going to be a good competition all around, especially with there's other competitive teams this year. So just having another one in the mix is good. So I don't expect to see them as a tier 5 team right now, like what they came in as a rank with. So it kind of works out.
Yeah, and then I was getting hit up in the DMs. Sarge is got the backing to buy whoever he wants. Obviously, as you have the 2 best Russian players in the world, and you have Tyler Harmon, yourself, Ronnie, everyone, Chad George.
Yeah.
Why let someone like Alex Goldman go to another team when you guys possibly easily could have afforded that no problem? I guess I got asked that a bit, and what's your thoughts on that?
It wasn't really that. It was the fact that we're just really happy with our team. We have Chad George, we have Ryan Moorhead. And the thing is like, what I love, like Alex Goldman's one of my best friends. I would love to have that guy on our team. And I'm really vocal about, like, I think Alex Goldman is truly one of the most elite players in the world. And he truly carries himself differently than anything else. We would love to do it. It just wasn't in the cards at this moment. And if he has an opportunity to get paid like that, then take that opportunity, Those opportunities, like, obviously it's shown, doesn't come very often.
Right.
So it's like, it's not even going to get into a competition if we're going to pay somebody more or anything else. We're happy for Alex. Would I love to see him in a Heat jersey someday? Absolutely. But at the same time, we're very happy with our team. Like I said, we got people like Ryan Moorhead, Chad George, Tyler Harmon.
Beast.
Yeah. Konstantin Fedorov, Mishka. Yeah. So.
I know Sarge is always about having a team that gels together. And right now you have a good group of people that all love each other, work good with each other. And Mouse may or may not have gelled with everybody. So I could see why he wasn't pushing for him.
So it's not even that though, but like Alex Goldman, like a lot of guys got to know Alex throughout the couple of years because when Impact and Heat go to Europe and stuff like that, we all get to hang out more than most other pro teams. A lot of guys, they really like Alex, but like I said, when he has opportunities like that, we wouldn't expect him to pass on it. So yeah, I mean, would we love to have him? Absolutely. But at the same time, we're very happy with what we have as a team. So we'll see.
Yeah, and then let's just keep going. I know that you're going to play them first practice of the year. Is that in 2 weeks? A couple weeks?
No. So we'll be playing in Texas the very first weekend of the layout, and then the weekend before the first event, we'll be practicing.
That's when you play them.
Yeah, we actually made that deal with them before they even picked up these guys. So. Yeah.
So you'll get to see how they are before the event, obviously, because you're going to be playing them. And you didn't know that Alex was going to be on the team, and Corey Hall, and any of these people. You were playing them as the...
Yeah, because, at the same time, we don't practice to win. We practice to learn. So whoever gets on the other side, we're doing things to learn as a team. Todd does a great job by getting us ready for things like that. So it doesn't really necessarily matter who we play on the other side. So obviously, we're willing to take a chance on a new team to be there. We just need bodies to shoot at and to have people there because we're there to learn and get to know and to make ourselves better. So, to have them there and give us a different look all the time and more competitive look is really nice to have. So we're excited to play them.
Yeah, definitely. And then let's jump out to where we were yesterday. Shout out Mexico, baby.
Yeah, we got the pleasure of going to Mexico. That's not my first time going to Mexico or out of the country, but...
We got to, or you can tell everyone what happened, but we let you come to our H Academy paint facility.
Yes.
And
that was state of the art, by the way.
It was state of the art.
Sweet.
I think it speaks for itself. I mean,
Absolutely.
we put a lot of hard work into this thing. There's tons of machines running. There's a lot of staff out there. And we're priding ourselves and dedicating ourselves to making a perfect paintball. And I think you saw what was happening there.
Going through the process and seeing how it's all done. Like I've been to paint factories in the past, but just seeing it, like how it's all done and how much time and effort everybody makes, it's amazing. And it's like, wow, you guys really care about being there, and everybody's there on top of things. You didn't see anybody really standing around on their phone or anything else. Everybody's on top of it, working hard. Just doing everything they could to make sure the company was taken care of. And that's the kind of workers you want. And I'm glad you guys actually have that because a lot of times you see people just standing around not doing anything. So it's good. You guys have good quality workers there.
Yeah. And then too, you don't see this very much, that Chad actually got to go there and QC paint that we're going to be using for NXL. So we're doing small batches to test it.
It is nice.
So, I mean, I think you can tell everyone about that, most companies don't allow people into their facility.
I was really actually happy about that, especially when I got to tell the guys about it last night. They were like, you got to see the paint. I'm like, yeah. And so to see and go through the quality control of with the paint, it's something that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do. So it's really nice that HK actually does that and things like that. So, shout out to you guys for that. So
yeah. So I was stoked to have him out there and do that. But on the way back out from the factory, me and Quitman and YAYA are all leaving. We go through customs back into America.
I feel like every time we're together walking somewhere for more than a mile, I feel like there's trouble. Okay.
Yeah. Well, in France, we got in a fight and you had to beat someone up for me. Like that happened. And then we're leaving Mexico and you get popped by Border Patrol and they take you in the back and cuff you. What happened?
So when my wife and I went to Mexico for our honey, like a mini moon or whatever it is, did you know there's mini moons?
There's baby moons, mini moons, any type of moons.
To the moon. That's
to
what
the
I
moon,
tell
baby.
Yeah. But anyways, when I was coming back the first time last year from out of the country, they stopped me and I thought they were just messing with me. They went through my bags and they were like, "Hey, you have a warrant." And I was like, I've never been arrested for this. And what
was the warrant for?
They said it was. You want me to?
Yeah.
All right, they said it was for cocaine, and I was like,
I got a warrant for cocaine.
Yeah, I was like, I've never been arrested for cocaine, but so. And they're like, you ain't gotta lie to us. And I'm like, I'm not lying to you. Like, I'm being serious. So they put me in a secondary. That was the first time.
Did they cuff you?
Hang on. This is the first time this happened.
Okay.
So then when Mark and I, Mark like stops at like where I'm talking to the officer and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And the guy's like, "Move along." And so when that all happens, the guy takes me back. He's like, "You know what I'm taking you back for?" And she's like, I've already called like these counties that they said this happening, and like they said there's no warrant there for me. And so I'm like, well, no kidding, because I've never been there and like to even get arrested for that. And so then the guy's like, yeah, he's like, I don't know why you'd skip state. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like talking to me like, man, you're in trouble now. And so I'm thinking like, man, they're gonna put me in a cage and I'll be stuck there. And so I go to sit down like in secondary and the guy's like, oh no, not there, over there. And I look up at this guy who is literally covered in dirt, like has like a tank top on and like half shorts on and is like handcuffed to the thing, like his hands and his feet. And then all of a sudden when I sit down, he handcuffs my leg. And I'm like, what? And he's like, and then you call me.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I wanted to make sure you're okay.
I know.
You're like, if I go to secondary, call Mike. I call Mike. He's like, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, oh my God.
And I was like, dude, I'm sitting there and this thing's on my leg and I'm just like, where am I at in life? Like, what is going on here? So, like, probably 15 minutes later, as I'm sitting there, the lady's like, let him, like, uncuff him, like, let him go. And I was like, okay, so where do I go now? She's like, you see those 2 doors? I was like, yeah. She's like, take your passport. You walk those 2 doors, and I'll never see you again. And I was like, deal. I just walked out. And I was like, all right, let's go. I wanted to start drinking right then and there, but I'm on that whole pure thing, so,
Yeah, you're being a good boy like myself.
Yeah.
We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, that was wild. That was crazy. I was so happy to be on the other side.
Oh,
dude. When I saw you come
I didn't know when I was going to see you again.
No, me neither. I thought you were done. And I'm calling all the people I know in Mexico trying to save you. They're like, he's toast. There's nothing we could do.
Oh,
You
my
just got to
God.
wait. And then luckily you got out of there.
I just don't know how this all got put on me where, like, I got arrested for this. And, like, that's actually what got me out of the first one. I was like, look, how many days did it say I was arrested? And they're like, 0. I was like, so don't you think if I got caught with that and had a warrant, I would definitely have been spent time in jail? And the guy's like, oh, you're right. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's rocket science.
Yeah, let me go, buddy.
Yeah. And so then, it was what it was, and it's done with. And I got some people on it now. So I'm like, I didn't think much of it after I called like the last time. And they're like, no, there's no warrants here. I'm like, no shit. So it worked out.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Is there going to be, let's jump back into the team. Is there any movement with the team? Are you going to be losing anybody, gaining anybody? Or are we just sticking with what we got for the next year?
So I'll tell you this, we're not going after anybody or anybody else. And like I said it before, the only person who truly makes us go up another level was Alex Goldman. I truly believe we have the best paintball team in the world, and Alex Goldman takes us to another level because he's that type of player. But like I said, we're super happy with our guys. We have a lot of guys still that are really young and hungry. You got Ronnie Dizon, Ryan Smith's coming through like the mix really well now. There's still a lot of room for everybody to grow, and we still have guys that are still hungry for a lot of championships. So, as of right now, we're not really making any moves. We have a big roster. The best thing we could do is if we got a smaller roster, we get in more of a rhythm and things like that. But that's pretty much about where that lays at. So
Got you. And then I kind of brought this up with Tyler too. I mean, Tyler joins the team, right?
Yes.
You guys won the first event Tyler plays with, and then we had some trouble throughout the rest of the year to get a W. You guys did good. You guys are still at the top. What do you think, Todd, and you guys are going to change to try and get W's across because this team can win every single event. It's definitely qualified. What do you guys think you need to do that,
to put us at that level?
Exactly.
It's really just us just playing a lot more paintball together, just always practicing. And the thing is everybody's there to gas each other up and build each other up to make each other better. We just got to continue to do that. We never really play the blame game on each other, which is super nice. Like I watch these teams like New York Extreme just shit and dog on each other because they're a dog shit team. That's what makes them dog shit though.
Shout out New York.
Yeah, but like they would be better if they just stopped yelling at each other and actually knew how to like build each other up. But if you don't ever win, how would you know what that feeling's right? But and there's tons of teams like that. But you see these top level teams, they're not breaking each other down. What they're doing is they're building each other up and how to figure it out to become better. We have people like Tyler Harmon, Chad George, Konstantin Fedorov. Like I was talking to Fedorov at 4:00 this morning.
You sent me a screenshot. What were you guys talking about?
The team, because he wants to do things to make the team better. And that's the thing, and that's the type of people we have. And this is where something is that Randy's really good at. He could have any player he wants, right? But he has to, and he's done management for a long time. But he has to have guys that he knows that will mix well together. Because you can't have a bunch of egos. It's got to be one chief and a bunch of Indians, right? So if you don't have that, then it's hard to win a lot. We've won a lot in the last 10 years. We want to win more. We're still hungry. That's the best thing about it is everybody's still hungry. Tyler Harmon's won a lot. Konstantin Fedorov has won a lot, but they're still hungry. Chad George, same thing. And these are some of the most elite players in the world, and we're all still real hungry. So, I mean, don't get shit twisted. We're literally one of 3 teams that won in 2021, and 66.6% of the teams that won were shooting HK.
That's right, baby.
So,
do not get that twisted.
Yeah. So, like, obviously they got the best fan in the game. It's proven. They got 4 World Cups in a row, 2 back-to-back from Houston Heat, and then what's the other team that got it?
What do you mean?
The team that got the other back-to-back? I don't even know.
Dynasty?
The Dragons.
Yeah,
that's right.
Nah. And the numbers don't lie. That's back-to-back World Cup wins with HK Army Paint. You saw the facility. You saw how much we actually care. State of the art.
Yeah.
And we put the extra time into QC and make sure everything is perfect. And that's why people are winning with our paint.
And you let players come down there and check it out. It's like, hey, this is the deal. And it's like, now there's no questions. Like, if anybody has any questions, I got answers.
Exactly.
So it works out.
You get to see it before the team, before everybody. You know what's going on.
I love it.
Let's go, Donnie. What else we got going on? What's up with Chad? What else? What are you doing to make sure that you're playing the best paintball that you can play for 2022?
So usually in the Midwest,
I see you on the Peloton every other day.
Usually in the Midwest.
I see you on the Peloton.
My wife got a Peloton for her birthday, and I think that I might like it more than her now because she's on it constantly and she likes it. But like I look at it now as like I can see the numbers on it and I'm constantly on it and I love it. And it's like health is wealth, right? So it's like if I'm not doing something to like keep myself healthy, then what am I really doing?
Right.
Because no matter how much money you have or anything else, if you're not healthy, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter. You want your health to be like the most.
That is facts right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
write that down.
Little some knowledge. But yeah, right now and obviously now I can play outside. So even like me going last weekend and like just playing one-on-ones, doing drills, and like being out like to play during the winter is something I've always wanted to do, and it was really hard because you could only go indoor and they're only open certain times, or you're kind of like put at like a crutch, right? Now I have no excuses. Like this weekend we're playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's like 3 different places, 3 different types of people. Ronnie's coming out here. I'm doing things with guys from the team. I'm constantly on the phone with them. We're just doing things to get better, to win paintball tournaments, and I love every second of it. So.
I love it. You've been on the grind, dude. Your room is just filled with trophies, so you know you've been grinding.
I want more of them. I had to get new shelves or whatever, like in my new place, and I was like, wow, I need more shelves.
We're gonna
do more of this,
baby.
Yeah.
We got to tell everybody too. As you know, our story, the OG hostel kids. Starting from a garage, growing this bad boy. You saw the office for the first time today.
Oh my gosh.
And
we're talking about state of the art.
Let's go, baby. We're bringing the hostel kids back this weekend. And you just have to be out here. So all the OG, like Navi's playing, Jay's playing, Hal's playing, Fatal, like a lot of the old school guys are playing. And then you just happen to be down here. So you're playing the 7-man with us again. The boys are back.
And to be honest with you, like I've never played SC Village.
Yeah.
And so like that's like what I all the time when I was a kid. Like
that was the mecca where we played. We used to play against Dynasty when we were kids there, just grinding. Avalanche would fly in. Like that was where LaSoya was running around like a banshee. That was the mecca of paintball back in the day.
If you were a star back in the day, and still are stars now, like you played at SC Village.
Exactly.
So it's like I feel like I can check this off of like being at this field and get to see exactly what like everybody else
with the boys.
Yeah.
We're a little bit older, we're a little bit slower, but we're gonna go out there and grind.
No. But like dude, I'm so excited about it just because like I remember watching you guys win tournaments, and I remember one of the first times I saw you guys got in a fight with Doc Raiders.
That's right. We burnt their flag. Shout out Doc Raiders.
Rest in peace, Doc. But yeah. The biggest thing is I was like, I've watched you guys play a lot and I've watched you guys do a lot of things, and we've all been like friends for a while now, and I'm beyond excited. I feel like it's a blessing just to even get to like step on the field with all you guys. So I'm super stoked about it. So it's gonna be fun, and we're gonna beat the shit out of everyone, so it works out.
Yeah, I think we're still gonna win. We're gonna send YAYA off the gut, and make sure you wipe all the hits. We ain't going out. We gotta win this one, baby.
I'll break records, baby. You know me.
Let's go, Danny. What else we got though? You played on a team called Indianapolis Mutiny.
Correct. Well, just for a couple events.
For a couple events?
Yeah.
What name, just so everybody knows, let's get to, what was it? NTK?
Yeah,
What,
well-
can you give us the breakdown from the teams you started from till today? And I know you were like the longest standing member on Houston Heat, correct?
Me and Chad George are the longest ones that have not stopped playing, right?
Yeah.
So Sam's been there since the beginning as well, but he took a year off to coach.
Yep.
Ryan Smith took 2 years off and then went and played with another team as well. But Chad George and I have not missed an event or anything else, or we haven't been added to the team or anything else. Yeah, we're the longest ones still running now.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So,
But break it down for your history of paintball for the kids at home one time.
so I won't start all the way from the beginning because there's a lot of teams I bounced around.
When it got a little bit serious.
So when in 2007, I got picked up by Greg Pauly to play on Vicious. I was in that camp for a little while, and then 2008, I went pro with Aftershock. Jeremy saw actually Nick Matthews. Shout out Nick Matthews. He got me in with Psalm. Psalm saw an opportunity in me. He liked me, and
This is Chicago Aftershock.
Yes.
Known for the baddest mofos in paintball.
They'll
really beat you up.
Yeah, they'll beat your ass. It's
steal
not
your
beat
lunch.
you up. It's beat
They're
your
serious.
ass.
That's if you're on a team back in the day. That means you were pretty good because those guys didn't mess around.
Yeah, and shout out to all those guys. Even to wear that jersey at the time, it's really truly amazing.
And that's when it was like some of the real guys, right?
What do you mean as far as like some of the OGs?
Yeah, exactly.
Now
it changed. Like Aftershock later, I was like, we're Aftershock. I'm like, yeah, but this ain't the guys.
Yeah, so I honestly I can't say that I got the opportunity to play with Billy Zaransky or Todd Adamson and stuff like that. And Todd did come back later in the thing.
Danny Love.
Yeah, I didn't get the opportunity to play with them or even Mike Bruno. But at the same time, I had Jeremy because as it like turned into like the NXL, they got older and they all retired and stuff like that. But I would have loved to have done that. But I did get to play with a good group of guys in the program. Like shout out to Tommy O'Donnell. That's where I got close with Tommy, and he was always checking on me, always looking out for me. So then he actually he had me on a 7-man team called NTK. As Aftershock was like doing that at the same time, and then really just kind of as I played with Aftershock, things didn't work out with Aftershock. I already knew Randy we were already working on starting another team. Tommy had me play on Indianapolis Mutiny for like 2-3 events. We actually did well. Took like 3rd, 4th place, probably the best I ever did. And then that was on a pro 7-man. And then with that, we started Houston Heat. So that's really not too long of a track record of a pro teams, but it's kind of, little confusion there at the beginning. But, I've been on Houston Heat since 2012 and it's
2012.
Yeah. And 10 years straight.
10 years grinding on the pros.
Yeah. That's just, I've been
with Heat.
Yeah. I've been playing since I was 12. I'm 35 now. I'm getting old.
Damn, long time.
I know, right? I love every step into that. And it shows the old guys still can win, so it works out.
That's right, baby. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, Sarge runs an amazing camp. Because of you, obviously, we got to link together and we worked it out to have HK be a sponsor.
Yes.
And me and you also had a little bit something to do with getting Tyler on the team, a little back end deals. We're like the sports agents. You guys don't know what's going on in the back end.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how much you do, like, beyond just playing for Houston Heat.
And I'm okay with that because, it's not really about me. It's just about making sure the team wins at the end of the day. And I explained this to Todd when he came onto the program. I do talk to a lot of the guys and deal with sponsors and things like that. And I love every second of it. It's not like when people say, like, what do you do for a living? It's like, I live the dream because I get the opportunity to deal with people like you guys, to deal with other people in paintball and play paintball. And it's like nothing is difficult for me because I just I embrace every moment of it. And that's what I think that a lot of people don't understand is like when they say things are stressing and things like that, like when COVID even happened, I got a job for like a month and I was like, this fucking sucks. Like having a regular job and people act like they want to retire, that shit sucks.
But let the people know that you were still getting paid by your owner, Sarge, and everyone was still taking care of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And
you're living the paintball dream. I mean, there's a lot of kids out there that want to be where you are at, and you get paid to play paintball.
It's true. It's true.
You're a full-time paintball player. How amazing is that?
So my wife didn't believe it when I first met her, and then until she came to an event, she's like, okay, this shit's real. But yeah, I mean, it's a dream, right? Like I get to wake up every day and my job is to get ready for whatever tournament we have next and to be the best guy I can for my team. If it's not off the field or if it's not on the field, it's got to be out the field. I try to think of things all the time that helps guys out or, just even talking to the team or doing whatever. And yeah, it's a blessing and I love every second of it. And I couldn't ask for, like, if anybody ever was like sad about if I ever pass away, I don't want them to be sad because I truly lived the dream and it was amazing. So
no, you do.
Yeah.
You do. You live the life. And I have to admit it, I didn't know this about Chad. But he does so much, not only on but off the field. It's ridiculous. After I got to spend a lot of time with you, this guy's on the phone.
Spent a lot of time.
This guy's on the phone nonstop. He's getting players. He's getting coaches. He's dealing with sponsorship stuff, especially with us because we're the main sponsor for Houston Heat.
Yeah.
Like he's doing a lot of work on the back end that no one sees. I just want to say you're doing a good job, baby.
Thanks.
And then I had to do this because I asked some questions yesterday.
Oh yeah.
On IG. So I wanted to just make sure that we answered a few of these because there was a lot of good ones. So let's just see what we got here today. One of them was from your wife. She wanted to say.
My wife wrote in.
Your wife wrote in.
My wife follows you. Let's go.
Let's go. She said, "Ask him how awesome. Ask him about his awesome wife," which we kind of talked about.
Yeah, she's a blessing. So I thank you very much, and I love her. Shout out to our baby dog too.
Let's go. Okay, I've never done this before, so let's do it. Nick said, "Can we get the story behind the nickname YAYA?" Which I don't even really know what it is. I think this is a good question.
I'll do it real quick. Actually, when I started at a paintball field reffing, so I was only 13, 14 years old. There was 3 Chads that worked there. Little Chad, Big Chad, and then there's me. And then I was even smaller Chad because I used to be a lot smaller. This guy who was watching The Sandlot the night before was like, "Hey, you look just like little YAYA." And I was like, "Man, shut up." His name's CJ Mao. Shout out CJ Mao. He still plays to this day. And I comes across the walkie-talkie. He's like, "YAYA." And I was like, "That's not my name." And then boom, when somebody sees that you don't like a nickname right away, they're gonna keep calling you. And I was just a little kid, and he just kept calling me, and then people would come to my parents and like the store and be like, "Is he from the movies The Sandlot?" And so it just kind of stuck. And then it's YAYA now.
There it is, baby. Yeah.
That's the story.
So there it is. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. That makes sense. Okay, let's go through one more, or let's go through a couple more.
Okay.
How would you feel if the NPPL came back and replaced the NXL? So it's a different format, 7-man.
So I'll say this: you're not going to replace the NXL. The NXL is there. It's truly an elite league, right? But you can have a league stand right next to it, and it's a different format, like you just said. It's 7-man. 7-man's so much fun. I
loved it. Those are some of my best memories playing 7-man.
And the thing is this is why 10-man's kind of kicked back up, because people who aren't as fast and athletic can still play 7-man because it's a game of communication and shooting, but it's not as fast, and it's not even thinking as fast. It's a different game, right? It's kind of like a boxer and a UFC fighter. It's a different thing, but it's still paintball. And I would love it. I would love every second of it. I would love it if there's another option for people. And that's what people don't like. They're so close-minded as they're keyboard warriors on the internet. They just like, "Oh, this shouldn't be here. This shouldn't be here." But then when we didn't have it, everybody's like, "Oh, I miss it so much." I'm like, "Okay, now I have it again." And you still have those negative people. And see, that's the thing is I don't surround myself with negative people. Being positive has got to be contagious. And if you surround yourself with negative people, can people jump on that bandwagon, right? If like a format with 7-man came back, I would love it. We're playing 7-man this weekend. I'm super pumped about it because it's not just one thing; it's different consecutive things, and it's amazing.
But and back in the day, it was PSP and 7-man. We would go as hostel kids. We would travel to the PSP, play X ball,
and then
then there would be another event not too far out. We're playing 7-man. And we got the best. We got to play both.
And you're gonna see who is. Say you have a 7-man team that's really good, and then you have a team that plays X ball, but they're not as good at.
Nope.
Yeah. So
they're never as good at 7-man because back then in PSP there was coaching, sideline coaching, and all that. And then you'd have to go and there's no ramping. You got to pull the trigger yourself because it's semi, and then there's no one there to help you on the sidelines because you really saw who was good. There'd be people who are really good at X ball that sucked at 7-man.
Yes. So yeah.
Okay, we got some more. This one I know is gonna hit home with you, RIP. But they want to know what was it like playing with Tim Montresor?
It was a blessing.
Yeah.
I got to play with Tim on Aftershock. Nick Slovic and I recruited Tim, and Tim actually brought on Sunday Billis and Sam Monville to Aftershock. I knew right then and there that I was going to get to play in the finals because I had Tim Montresor. Philly had just broken up, and he'd always want to play for the Aftershock name because he grew up in Detroit, and so having him come and play on the team, and he honestly, it was amazing because he wanted to be there. He was a guy that wanted to always be there. He was truly a blessing to have on the team because it wasn't even if he wasn't off that day on the field, because everybody has off days, right?
Yeah.
But he was so helpful, and he taught me so much. This is what helped me with Heat. Is he taught me so much about like what it was like to like be there for the team, to do things for the team, because he did all that for Philly. And then he helped with Aftershock, and we took a third and a second. They hadn't seen what that even looked like in years with Tim, and then he ended up moving on to Impact. And then we actually we were sitting in a bar one night, and he's like, "I'd come play on Houston Heat with you guys. Like you guys are all my best friends." And then Moorhead's like, "I'd go with him too." And I was like, calling Randy at 2:00 in the morning from the East Coast.
Yeah, Randy, we got him.
Yeah, the boys want to play. And no, so that was sweet. And then
how long was he on the squad?
On Aftershock or on Heat?
Heat. He had a little small stint on Heat.
2-3 years, I believe it was. And then we talked about bringing him back again. And then, because he worked for DLX, which was like our main gun sponsors. It has been since the beginning. Shout out DLX. He's just always in the mix. He's always part of the boys. I used to live like a block away from him. I lived with him for a little while. And, having him as a teammate, having him as a brother, it was truly a blessing. And I couldn't say enough positive things about that guy because obviously, he's not here with us anymore, but he's still with us all together. Like, I got goosebumps even talking about it. Yeah. He's with us every single day. I remember in Ultimate Shootout when I was playing that, I was down 8-0. All I do is pray to him, and I was like, hey, I don't know if I asked you for much, but I'm asking you right now. I need you to be with me, and I come back and won it.
Came back and blasted people down. Tim was an absolute awesome person. I got to hang out with him a lot when we were in Malaysia. For World Cup.
He was the guy. He was Mr. Paintball.
Yeah.
Like, he embraced every moment, and he was just like, just tell yourself you love it. Tell yourself, stop being a little bitch. Tell yourself you love it, and it's gonna go from there. And he'd always turn a situation that was negative into positive.
That's awesome.
And I loved it.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
Shout out, Tim, baby. Shout out. Okay, let's keep going. We have Dunkinator. He says,
Shout out Dunkinator.
Shout out Dunkinator. Why does YAYA? Why he loves paintball, and how long do you think he'll play for?
I'm gonna play forever. Play till the wheels fall off.
Forever.
I am the fastest paintball player, or I have the fastest professional point in the.
There's a question after this one.
Okay, I'll leave that one. Yeah. No, I'm gonna play as long as Houston Heat will have me. I don't want to ever play for another team. I never want to leave the team.
You're gonna be like Kobe and the Lakers, baby.
You know what? I don't consider myself Kobe Bryant because he's truly special. But I just never want to I never want to play for another team. So if it ever didn't work out with Houston Heat, I would just not play paintball anymore. But it's not that I wouldn't go play with my friends randomly, but I plan on playing as long as Houston Heat will have me. So that's pretty much the answer on that one.
Nice. And then did you get why you love it? Why do you love paintball so much?
Oh my God, it's my life. It's pretty much the only thing I've known other than, partying and traveling the world.
Let's go.
And I love every second of it. And I would never give it up. I never regret it or anything else. I sacrificed a lot to be in this, to even have this seat right here, but I love every second of it. And I'll never look back on it. So
keep it going, baby.
Yeah, there's nothing I don't love about paintball.
I love that. Let's keep going because you said a little bit of this. We have our boy right here. He said, what was going through your mind for that 7-second clip? What did you think? That was, I believe, the second. Are you
talking about when I broke the record on the Columbus level?
Was it that one, or was it when you blew through Sloviak? You had
that was actually 9.6 when I did on.
So then, the 7-second one.
A lot of it is so I was like, obviously I have a really good coach, but I was kind of pissed off in that whole moment because we're playing Columbus level, right, in Philly. We'd already mercy ruled Infamous. We already mercy ruled X Factor. We slapped the shit out of the next team, and then this is our fourth game, and we already know we're going on a Sunday. They were already mercy ruled 3 times in a row, okay? So they had nothing to lose. So they're cheating their balls off. They say they weren't cheating, but the reason why they had to play us 3-on-5 because they're wiped to hit.
Cheaters.
But you know what? I will say shout out to Robbie Goldsmith because he's done a good job with them, right? So, and the thing is this actually takes away because they ended up beating us in the match. But I was so pissed off about that moment. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm running down. I'm gonna bunker all of them and then hit the buzzer if I can. And I just end up shooting them all and going. And
there's like no hesitation to get a 7-second point like that. I mean, you're just pedal to the metal, right?
I mean, you know what? Tyler Harmon looked at Todd and was like, "Put YAYA in. He'll do it." And I was like, "Let's go down it." Yeah, he tells him all the time, "Put him in." Yeah, shout out Tyler Harmon.
Dude, Tyler loves you.
I love Tyler. He's a blessing.
Okay, we got one more question here, and then we're gonna wrap things up in a little bit. But they're saying, YAYA, Pro Series, World Cup, or is Heat winning it at all? Is Heat winning at all for 2022? What is your thoughts for Houston?
We're coming for every single event. There's not an event that I don't think we can't win. We're gonna prepare for that. We know how to work for it. If we don't win, it's just the job's not done for us, right? And it's not done after one. We want to win them all. We could have won them all last year. We can do it this year. It just depends, really. Like the stars have to truly align when you win a paintball tournament. That's why only 3 teams won last year, 2 being HK teams, because you got to have the right paint. You got to make sure that everybody's playing on key. It's how well you prepare yourself for that event, and then things fall in place. We're gonna do everything in our power to win every single tournament. There's not a doubt in my mind. He does a lot of talking to us, and that's what's so nice about having Todd. He talks to us a lot on a level where it's a guy you want to go win for. Like with Randy, we all want to go win for him. As Todd as our coach, we want to go win for Todd, right? And that's what you want, on a team. And that's why we look at our team. We have so much fun. All I can remember is how much we were smiling last year, how much fun we had, how many moments we all had together. And it was there's probably 9 out of 11 guys didn't go shopping this year for other teams because of that reason. I just love every moment of it. So it's all right, we'll go from there.
Definitely. And can you break this down one more time for me? Because you keep telling me you guys played and lost to Revo, that last event.
No, we lost to X Factor by 1 point.
X Factor. But you told me this. You're like, the reason you keep telling me that they got to play 2 games.
Oh, okay. So when the schedule goes and they don't have enough, there's not enough sunlight in the NXL. Like it just depends really how the actual layout pertains. So they finished their schedule on Sunday.
Yeah.
In Vegas, Revo had that situation happen in 2020, and then in Chicago they got to play 2 matches before they played us.
Right.
And they warm up, and you know what? They got our number. We played like shit. And they beat us. But do I think that they're a better team, or do I think they should even be able to compete with us? Absolutely not. But I will say this. They have a very good coach. They have a coach, not that he makes them better paintball players, his scouting abilities, Pat McKenna, his scouting abilities and what he does for that team, that's what wins him games. Because a lot of them, other than Frank Anamasso, I don't think, because Frank's really good, and I like Frank a lot. And he just went to Aftermath, right? So they just lost him. They just lost Matt Derula.
Dude, they're losing everybody.
Yeah.
I know you know the ins and outs. Are they still going to be around?
Oh, they're going to be around.
Yeah.
Henry's going to have a team that competes, but do I think that they should beat us? There's no reason that anybody should beat us, but they had our number. We made mistakes and we lost to them. It is what it is, but yeah. Do I think that they're good enough to beat us again? No.
No chance, boys. Hey, I love it. I appreciate you stopping by. Chad's here for what? How many more days?
I'm here until Monday.
He's here until
Monday. We got some
Monday.
paintball to play this weekend.
We're going to get in trouble if he's here until Monday.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
No. Last time we ended up in a hotel room and you and Danny were hanging out with bums under the pier, baby.
That's true.
That's true.
We're at Huntington Beach.
Hey, Huntington Beach, shout out. Or in France, we're getting in fights. What happened? You were battling that one guy, the professional dart player.
Okay, we were playing. Okay, I'll tell the story real quick.
Let's go.
We were playing darts. We're getting all hyped up. This guy sees me hit 3 bullseyes in a row. And all of a sudden he walks over and he's like, I want to play you tomorrow. And then you're like, did you play darts? He's like, I'm the number 2 in all of France.
Yeah.
And then
boom. Number 2 dart player in the world. All of a sudden there's flyers. There's a whole thing.
Yeah, we go to the next bar and then all of a sudden these people are like, are you the guy that's going to play the number 2 dart player in the world? And he's like, yes, he is. And he's like, I'm like, bro, I don't think I'm good at darts. He's like, doesn't matter. You're going.
You had a couple of spritzers in you and you were hitting bullseye.
And hey, did we win the event?
I don't remember.
Oh, we won. We won the event. I didn't get to play that guy because I broke my pinky on somebody's face.
We won the tournament.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you never played the guy. That's
I couldn't play the guy because I broke my pinky. It's actually still broke.
Hey, but we won the paintball tournament. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Hey, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for coming by the new
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, anytime you want. Of course. You're the best.
Hey, thanks.
Hey.
I love it.
You like the new building?
Dude, I love it.
It's insane. Hey, so we're going to go after this. We're heading to the Houston Heat House. We're going to jump in the jacuzzi. Danny, you're coming.
Woo!
We're going to have a blast. Me and you got to get back to filming, but thank you for stopping by the Full Experience Podcast, the best podcast in the world. Shout out Houston Heat, H. Karami, Chad Bouchez. Thank you for stopping by.
Woo!
Let's go.